How's it everybody? Welcome back to Coral Reeches. Sanctum Gamer here, and we are looking down at our beautiful artwork that we've been working on for the last, 2 months or so, with everything coming together very nicely, with each town fading beautifully into the farmland, something that I'm absolutely loving. In the last video, we built out this area, this residential area over here, and we set the foundation down to have a custom train track over here. Now, since the last video, we've had a patch updates to the game, which is awesome. What that means is a lot of things are now visible again, things that I could not see before. So now when I go into things like the road menu, I can see all of the zoning tiles. And if I go into, where is it? This menu, I can see all of the lines, which is amazing. Another thing that I noticed is there's been some interesting animations to when you do stuff. So like if I delete something, like it fades away. That's here it does it quickly. So I'm guessing maybe it's a distance thing. Like when I'm far, oh no, not anymore. Oh, there we go. Then that fades away. It fades away. So it's interesting. It's a little funny it's a cool animation. I think it's quite cool. Now that I can also see everything, I see that a lot of shops, commercial spaces, are complaining about not enough customers. Now, if you remember a video or two ago when we were building out all of this area, the demand for commercial was like through the roof. And I had to keep building commercial. Now I built all this commercial and now it is too much. So I was thinking, before we kick off what I want to do for today, perhaps I can go ahead and change some of these commercial spaces into maybe residential, so that we get more people in to supply a lot of the demand that the commercial areas have. What I'm worried about though is that I do that and then I don't have enough commercial. So I think I'll change my mind. I won't do that. I'll leave everything the way it is, and we'll probably just build more residential areas. But I see commercial is just dying down. So I need to decide what I want to do, whether or not I want to remove all this commercial or not. But for now, you know what, we'll leave it. What I want to do is get onto the agenda of the day quickly, and then we will come back to sorting that out later if it's still a problem by the time we finish all of this building. It's just a matter of dezoning a lot of these commercial spaces and zoning in residential. What I want to do today is that I want to get the rail yard in so that we can get trains moving at least in between this town. We've built all of this infrastructure. It will be good to use it. Now, I had always wanted to put the rail yard over on this side, and the more I look at it, the more I kind of see it out of place, because I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to do too much development here because it's so close to the edge of the map. So instead, what I want to do is that I want to put the rail yard over on this side and then use the opportunity to build a nice, small, quaint town around it. Something similar to this, but a little bit denser and a little bit more sort of tightly packed around the rail yard. So probably on this little peninsula-like thing, and then all the way up to meet where the rail line is. We'll have a train stop over here, and then the rail yard, I'll try and see what I can do about connecting everything up in this direction. So we allow a track to get in and around over onto that side, and perhaps even connect it up sort of in a circular way up over here, and maybe do another funky circular way and then feed into this town. I really just want to play around with the rail infrastructure and see what sort of nice funky things I can come up with. So to start it off, I'm gonna put a road right here, right next to the train line, because in my mind what I'm thinking is that we'll have the final stop of the train right over here, and then this will obviously not be your standard train station. We'll just put stops over here, and then this will then connect to the rest of the town. So if I grab the rail yard, and I think I can stick it down right maybe over here, this gives me enough room to be able to bend the rail lines over in that direction. Then we can merge these ones up over here, and then we get a small little pocket over on this side that we can build a small little industrial area or something. So that's what I'm thinking. Let me hook up the rail yard and everything, connect up the roads, get some power to it, and then let's see if I can get these rail lines sort of coming in and going off in that direction. Alrighty, we've got something going. Things are connecting up. I like the way the rail is going to hug the river. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of terraforming over here, because when I look at it, I think that the land might be too far out. So I think we can just reclaim a little bit of land to allow for what we want to build over here. And I'm very likely going to get rid of this road and redo most of this area, but that is to be expected. As long as at the end of the day what we're building ends up looking good, looks nice, and it does the job, it doesn't matter how much time we spend on it, right? Doesn't really matter, because I want the road, I don't want the road to cross the railway line. So it's going to have to go over the railway line in order to feed all of that area. Now over here, I don't know if I was being a little too eager using this concrete path, right? Well, pavement, let me rather say. I was considering using the sand texture, but I think the sand surf, oh, we've got two of them. Let me just see which one could potentially work, right? I've got that. Oh yeah, I think this is better. That's better than, I think this one is probably going to be a little bit too bright. Yeah, so that's going to be too bright. This one is not quite the same color as this. I wonder what color this is. I wish I knew what color that was, because then I would use that every day. But unfortunately, I do not know. All right, let me get rid of the pavement one and see if the sand one will look better. So I noticed that I think this is the sand texture that they've used around here, and it's got a set thing all the way around. So I figured maybe I can rather get rid of this and then adjust its position around the entire railway track. So this is going to take me a while. Let me do this and let's see what all of that looks like. Alright, so here's what this looks like. I think that's okay. That's not too shabby. We've got this whole area pretty much covered in that, and I decided to just leave a little green space here for a little bit of fun. So far, I think that looks good, right? I think that looks good. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect up the road over here, and wait, let's see. I think if I can get a road to come out straight over there, and I don't mind if this actually crosses the railway over there, and then we can then go ahead and just connect this up in a nice funky way. Let's turn off Anarchy. That works. Cool. So then we have that connected up, and you should have water and electricity, which should be awesome. And now all I need to do is set up a route from this area to that area, and we should see some trains coming. Now, before we continue with the train stations, or at least the train routes from here, what I do want to do is that I want to get another train station in this exact spot. I kind of figured if I'm going to have trains in here, I might as well at least have 3 stops where the trains will, stop in this town. And then it'll have a final stop there, and then it will extend itself all the way out to there. And then we'll use this main line as a way of getting the trains out into that part and then into the main city. So this is the exchange point, if you want to put it that way. And this will be the line where we'll have a couple of trains that run. So I'm going to clear out this farm over here, and I'm going to convert this into probably a residential or a commercial spot, and then we'll build a couple of stops over here. It won't be anything fancy, but just a way to allow passengers in and out of this area. Okay, I don't know what I've built, but I've built something. So this is meant to be an open area for people to be able to come into the train station, and we're gonna have the train stops right here, which I already have, but I see everything of mine is not balanced. But you know what? Doesn't matter. People are gonna come in and they're going to be able to use it anyways. So let's go ahead, let's put down a route, and let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see if we're gonna see some trains coming in. I haven't done this before, so it's a good practice to see what's going to happen. I do want a station at the end there, but since we haven't built up that area yet, I will not put anything down. I think this is where the next stop will be, and we will stop it right over here. All right, so with that, hopefully this chappy should spit out a train for our track. Yeah, cool. We've got a train. Whilst that starts doing its thing, let's go ahead and put a connection for the international line, right? So that we can start getting people coming in via this way. Why is this thing just... what's going on? Okay, this is over here. All right, so from there, we're going to go all the way out to the outside world, and we can come back, right? And for now, we'll stop here. I think once we build the main city, we'll then connect it up. Now, the only reason why I will not get any trains is I think I need to connect this up so that there's a connection between this and that. At least I think that's what I need to do. So if I can at least get this to line up nicely, I think maybe that's a little bit too far. Get this to line up nicely. You know what? That's good enough. And then from here, I can just connect it up. Hopefully, it looks decent. Yeah, there we go. That's a decent. It's decent enough. So then that's connected up, and I should be having. Yay! Whoa! Why is it stopping here? Isn't it supposed to go all the way through? Or maybe it's now just getting... okay, cool, it was crossing. What? What in the world is happening? So the good news is people are starting to use the station. Got all of those blurry effects or trails or whatever. What is this thing? This is... I think this is something in the settings. Anyway, I'll check that out. So good news is that we've got people coming in and they're starting to use the station. They're all mainly using this path. Nobody's bothering to use that one. I'm guessing because it's too far from where the stop is. The weird thing is that on the main station, when the trains come in, let me show you. Let's fast forward this. So we've got this train that's coming. When it gets here, instead of stopping over here, it swaps around, and I don't know why. That is just the weirdest thing. And I don't know why it's doing that. It's like the tracks on the station are reversed. They did not register that this is left-hand traffic. So now the trains are crisscrossing each other, which just... wow. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out at some point. But otherwise, we've got trains, everybody. They are up and running. They're coming into our custom station over there and into this one also over here. Passengers are standing around and waiting. I think the only thing I want to do now is I want to put a couple of food stalls around the paths, and then we shall continue. Alright, I think that's alright. So we've got the food stalls that line where the passengers will walk through. I think that is perfect. As you go past, you see all the wonderful food that's being sold and you're enticed to buy. And then we've got some seatings just in the back over there. And the trains should then be able to come in and out. Oh, no. Why is my train track not straight? Oh, you know what? Not today. Not today. And I'm not gonna bother putting a path here because it's clear from the other station that we just built that people are always going to look for the shortest path. So that's all right. I'll leave it at that. What I'll do is I'll just put some trees just in all of this manicured grass so that it just looks like it's a detailed out area or a place where they planted a whole bunch of trees, and that then makes up the station area. All right, everybody, we've got trains running. I am not super happy with the fact that things here are reversed. I don't know if this is my own doing or if there's something that I have completely missed, but they are reversed. And I don't understand why in the world they are reversed. Because when I set up the track, or maybe that's my doing. You know what? Let me just try and lay out this thing again and see. All right. So I changed things around and it was my fault. It seems like when I was connecting things up this way, instead of connecting up this route to that side, I connected it up to this other one. And that's why it was swapping things around over here. So I've reconnected everything up. So the traffic coming from here now stops on this side. The one coming from this side now stops on that side. And if we can get some trains that will come through, you will see it. And there we go. So now they stop on the right side of the track. Whew. I was worried there for a moment that the station was bugged, but it was my fault. All right, everybody, we've got trains running in this our town, which is all right. I am happy with that. Now what I want to do is that I want to connect up this rail line. It's gonna go all the way around. It's gonna loop to connect up to this one, and I'm also gonna try and see if I can get it sort of cross going over this way and then in that direction. There is quite a bit of an elevation, but I think if I can make the loop wide enough, I think it should be fine. Now, according to Google, the maximum incline should be between 2.5 and 4%. So assuming that is correct, I'm going to try and use that as a guideline and get this to sort of loop around and come all the way over here. Let's see if I can do it. So I need to employ a little bit of creative freedom here. Doesn't look like this is allowing me to cross the ship line because of the number of what's this thing? Pillars there are. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on Anarchy, and I'm going to use Anarchy to ensure that the number of pillars, or at least the location of the pillars, doesn't sit directly over where the ships actually go. So if I can draw a route, or well, the train line to cross right over on this side. I see this thing is wanting to give me more pillars than I need. I just need to be careful. Okay, so if I plonk this right over there, I think it's a tight squeeze. You know, it's a tight squeeze, but could it work? Oof. It might work for now, but when custom assets come along, there's no guarantee it will work. I think let me elevate this a little bit, just a little bit more. So if I can turn that down and let's put that to 45. I think at 45 degrees, we should be good. So if I cross over there, just want to make sure it's as parallel to the bridge as possible. So let's get you over on this side. I think that's good. I think that's good. So if we look at it, okay, cool. So that gives a much better clearance. And then I can go ahead and just extend this out just a tad bit with slight decline. It's so hard seeing these things properly. Yeah, minus 0 0.2, 0 0.4. I think that should be fine. Right. Yeah, I think that should be fine. And I don't know what in the world is happening here. I don't know what in the world was happening there. But there we go. So it's got a root. It's got a place to go right under. And let's try and do the same for this side, which is 180 degrees. Yes, a plus 0 0.3. I want you to be minus. This should do just fine. So if we plop that down, how are we? All right, so we've got I think that works perfectly. Slight bump in the middle, but overall, I think that works. However, I look at this place and I think to myself, maybe this is a little bit too high, but you know, it's okay. It will have to do the job. We've got two pillars here, which I'm not very happy about. So let's get rid of this and let's see if it will connect up as a single pillar. It's not connecting up as a single pillar, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's all good. Okay, so we've got that down. I think I can go ahead and get rid of all of this and then try and see if I can get a better decline in this and then get it all to connect up. Okay, let's take stock. I think we've got a nice big loop-de-loop all the way around. That probably works, and that should be good enough for me to be able to get my trains running. I don't plan on running cargo on this line, so you know the YouTube recommended 2.4 to 4% degrees should, I think, be perfectly fine. Oh my word. Okay, hang on, let me see if I can figure out if this is a setting, this blurriness. Oh well, I thought it would have been motion blur, but it seems like motion blur is disabled. So it's possible that the motion blur is probably, the setting is either not working for this, or I don't know. I think this my choice of graphic settings is proving to be rather difficult. But anyways, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not like it's ugly necessarily. It's just, it's motion blur. That's it. All right, so I think we can unpause now, have the game run, and let's plonk down a whole bunch of trees on the side. I'm not sure if this looks decent enough. Okay, I think that looks decent enough. This is quite a bit of a steep incline. Whew. But I mean, it's cars, they can do it. Trucks, on the other hand, not so sure, but it's fine, it works. So at some point when we do develop around here, we'll then create a nice off ramp that connects up to the side. Okay, so now we've got the train lines starting to connect up. So we'll connect this one also up, probably over to this side at some point once we start making development or start doing development for a year. Now what I want to do with this one is I want this to also go and also form a loop and come around underneath, and then it's going to then feed into the city. So I'm going to employ very similar tactics over here. We're going to use the same thing, build that over here and connect it. I thought about letting it go and sort of cross as a bridge over here, but My issue here is I think I would like to have the main station somewhere around this side and then have connections out to the rest of the region. So by doing this, I get the flexibility of being able to do that. And also I might just decide to connect a second track to it, which I will use to bring out into this small little industrial area over here. But I don't know, that is future plans. So since I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, let me create a nice loop-de-loop over here and sort of finish off this track connection. All right, we've got something. I'll be honest. This is ugly. I do not like that. I think this is something we can change because wow, no. That looks a little bit too funky. I'm not 100% happy even with here. So I think I would like to make the loop a little bit, maybe more this way, and then let it come through. Oof, man. See, now this is one of those things where I look at this and I ask myself, is it worth it? Is it? You know what? For the beauty, it's worth it. For the beauty, people, let's do it for the beauty of it all. Whether it is practical or not, we're gonna do it for the beauty of it all. So let's go ahead. I think let me turn this one on. Maybe it'll be easier with this one that we can hopefully go through. Can you do a complete loop? No, it can't do a complete loop. Oh, that's sad. So let me do it like this. Ooh, we are nearing the limits of what we can do for the loops. Ooh, this is too much. Okay, this is still fine. Nope, that's not fine. All right, I'm going back to playing around. All right, I think that's a little bit better. 2 big loop-de-loops all around this area. Oh yeah, much better. So over here, I see the track is starting to rise, which I don't necessarily think I want. I do not want it to rise from here. So instead, what we do is we grab that, make sure that everything is nice and smooth as we come out into this space, and then I can then go ahead and just hopefully be able to pull it all the way through. Boom. And that's not too shabby. Not too shabby. I am happy. This has been wow. It's the only way I can describe building this. It has been wow. When I set out to build this, I honestly thought it was going to be just a quick a quick thing that I was going to get in and I'll be done. But I don't know how many hours it's been now, and the only thing I've done is a loop-de-looped track. But there we go. People, we have the foundations of our rail infrastructure in place, where we've got our rail yard in. I think this should be, how many trains does this give us? This gives us 10 trains, but that's not too bad. I think let's go ahead, let's upgrade you. Ooh, wow. Oh, I know why. I know exactly why it's got that, but it's fine. It's because I built this little track here. So this can be like an old track that they decided to build over. So it's not the end of the world. And we can always upgrade it and add another one to get, what is this? Is it, how many more? 5 more vehicles if need be. For now, I think an extra 6 vehicles for when we do build this will be more than enough. But let's see, we can always upgrade that. So that's not at all a train smash. All right, everybody. I think we've made very good progress. We've got the rail infrastructure in place. We are good to now start over here. I wasn't 100% sure how I was going to start building this place without the trains yet, because I hadn't figured out exactly how I was going to connect all of this up. But now that it's all connected up, I am happy. One of the things that I definitely think I'm going to do is to include maybe some warehouses and stuff along this area, so that it looks like there's a reason, well, not a reason, but that this place is a little more developed and it's just a train track that's coming through here. I tried my best to keep the incline/decline to less than 2.5%, which I think I did achieve. This place does not look like it's 2.5%, but you know what? The game told me it is, so I will be happy with that. I think, let me go ahead and just fix up the land over here a little bit. Let me just give it a little bit of vavavoom. Oh, wow, that is hideous. It's fine. It is fine. Cool. So we are good. We are done. By the way, when you use move it, can I select like the pillars and stuff? I don't see myself. I guess if I delete this node, it deletes a whole node. I can't just delete a pillar on its own. So yeah, we'll leave that for now. So with all that real infrastructure in place, what I want to do now is I want to get rid of a couple of these commercials, just so that I get rid of all of these complaints. I see commercial demand is like really, really low. So it will probably be in my best interest to convert a lot of these into residential. I think that will work. So I'll build a couple of houses and maybe get what's this thing? What's this? Low density waterfront housing. What in the world? Oh, you know what? I think with the change in what's this thing? Beach properties being free. I think they've gotten rid of it as beach properties and now it's called something else. I'm guessing that's what that is. So yeah. So I want to get rid of some of the commercial spaces. I mean, we've got commercial all along this side. It's a lot of commercial. In fact, I did complain about the amount of commercial in a video or two ago, because I just didn't understand why the commercial demand was so high. Oh, wow. When did I zone? Okay, that's all good, but these are too big. It's the only reason why I don't want these here. So I want to just go ahead and make the sizes exactly as I want. So I would prefer to have some low density housing in this area, and then I put, no, I think that's too much. And then I put these over here like so. And then it doesn't look too dense of an urbanized area. And yeah, I think that's what I want. I think that's what I want. Cool. So that should cover up some of those areas. I mean, I still got a ton of complaints with commercial. Let me fly around, make a couple of changes, and yeah, let me make a couple of changes. Okay, so I've replaced a whole bunch of places. One of the things that I just did was I removed some of the taller mid-density buildings and replaced them with row houses rather, because I figured I want this area to stay low-lying, and then this area will have the tall densities. Now I'm even considering getting rid of these ones over here because I don't know, when I look at it, I don't think they really fit in for my liking. So we'll go ahead, we'll get rid of this one, we'll get rid of that one, and I think I'll get rid of this one as well. So we'll get rid of all of these three, they are too big, and we'll replace them with row houses. I think this will be a better option for me in terms of the look. Get these ones over here. In fact, even this side, I think places like this, I don't know if I've got a park that will fit here. Okay, I've got a park that will fit here. So I want to try and I don't want to just replace every single house, commercial, whatever, with just another house or commercial. So now when I look at it, definitely getting rid of these ones. I don't think these ones fit in. They are way too tall. So off they go. We're doing some housekeeping today as well, people. Some housekeeping today. Then we will build all of these ones all the way along here, and I think that should be fine. The nice thing is that as I get rid of the super big and super tall, I get demand back for the row houses, which is nice. So then this allows this area to really stand out as the core of this town, with this one sore thumb sticking out over here, but I think for now we will leave it. And yeah, now I see the commercials are starting to die out. Well, yes, commercial demand is finally starting to come up a bit as we replace a lot of these with residential houses, which is good. I still need to sort out my internet servers, which I think I shall do, and then we shall start transitioning ourselves into that space and start getting some other stuff in. The commercial demand is balancing out a lot better because now we're starting to get commercial demand again, which is awesome. So yeah, I honestly think it was probably an issue with the way things were being calculated before, because since the update, I just get this all over the place. So yeah, everybody, good progress. I'm happy with the way everything is looking. I'm really loving the way this town is shaping out. And I think a lot of these have grown out now. I think this looks much better than when I had those tallies all over this place. Maybe I should even get rid of some of these tallies as well. You know, I might as well get rid of some of these ones because I think they too are a little out of place. So let's get rid of you, and let's get rid of you, and let's replace these ones with row houses instead. I think these will fit in a bit better over here. Alrighty, everybody, good progress. Alright, so we're going to leave it here for today. I've made quite a number of changes, and as you can see, the not enough customer signs has decreased substantially because I've gotten rid of a lot of the commercials and replaced them with residential areas. And of course, I'm now basically out of the medium density demand. I also hooked up the, what's this thing? The ship path. Is that what it's called? The passenger whatever. What's it called? Passenger ship line. There we go. So I set one up. So now we've got ships coming in from the outside world all the way to this harbor over here. And then I also expanded a little bit on this industrial area. I was doing this off camera and I just got, I don't know, I felt inspired and then I just built this whilst I wasn't recording. So yeah, all of these were placed manually. That's why most of them look like the warehouses, which I quite like the look of. And yes, I think this whole area has shaped up very nicely. So the only thing that's left now is in the next video, we're going to go ahead and finish off this town. So kind of clean up the outskirts a little bit. I might just come here and extend this area out just to close it off, but I will see. But I think over here we're gonna kick things off definitely with a new little settlement over here. I had wanted to put down some industrial areas here, but I think I'll leave that for the next video. And then we'll also start getting in the internet services and all of that stuff into play. Otherwise, that's it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, as usual, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you've been here a while and you haven't already. And do not forget, turn on the notifications so you do not miss a single video when it does come out. Big shout out to all of my patrons and YouTube members for all the extra support that you choose to continue to show the channel. It is truly appreciated. As we go off into the cinematics, let's go and take a look at the town as a whole, and I hope you enjoy it, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Cheers!